But happy birthday. Today is your birthday.
It's officially my birthday.
And this will be uploaded tomorrow. So yesterday was your birthday if you're listening to this on Monday.
No, because you're thinking it's
Sunday. No, I
Sunday.
think it's Sunday.
Yeah.
So this 2 days ago it was your birthday.
Yeah.
Well, happy 2 days ago birthday.
Thank you. Did you just hear Pam meow or was that me?
No, there was a dog, but it was very far away.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is what happens when you turn 59, you get super hearing.
Yeah, but it's incorrect.
It doesn't matter. I'm all like, what's
It can't be
that?
it'd be the world's worst superpower if you heard things incorrectly all the time.
So, yes, by the time that this podcast uploads, I will have been 59 for 2 days.
2 whole days.
2 whole days.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I cannot help but stare at your shirt.
I was going to say, why you keep looking at my shirt?
Because I and just so you know,
Yeah.
I keep on finding little pieces of your shirt all over the kitchen.
So because you can't see it, but I, because you go thrift shopping for content and things like that, and I could always use more shirts because I actually like taking my shirts and turning them to tank tops.
Yeah.
Well, it was a cool shirt.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was cool, and I was like, you know what? I'll cut it up so I can wear it before I can start streaming. So it was like 5 a.m.
Cut it up for a tank top.
Cut it up for a tank top for a stream, but it was like 5 a.m. and I kind of, the shirts beforehand, it was a stencil and there was a little bit more design. I kind of eyed it this time, and it looks like you would cut a shirt at 5 a.m.
If you were a beaver with no scissors.
Caesars.
Yeah,
it looks exactly like how somebody with no glasses on and would just kind of ballpark it.
And so for visual, if you're not watching this on YouTube and you know anything about fashion, it has like a scalloped edge. And what that is where it's like, bloop, bloop, bloop. So yeah, it looks.
I like it. I showed stream yesterday and they laughed at me.
Well, you know what? It kind of just, it's your persona. It's you wrapped up in a t-shirt.
Yeah, this is me if I was a shirt.
Yes.
It's kind of up but cute. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
It's okay. So I just have to, I have a little button. I have a little sound that whenever we do that, it goes beep.
Oh.
So I write it down so that way I know how many I have to look for. So yes, it's my birthday.
Yeah. So do you have any parting wisdom for your 58-year-old self?
You know what? It's been really kind of, it's been really cool because what I've been doing is since I'm going to be leaving my 50s, this is the last year of me being in my 50s. I've been kind of looking back at like who I was when I entered my 50s.
Sure.
And if we went by the narrative of what society tells us, that every year we get older or every decade we get older, we're supposed to be like sad.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to want to do it. But I got to tell you, I mean, leaving my 50s, I am such a healthier person, both mentally and physically, than I was going into my 50s.
Sure. Yeah. Because you were still drinking.
Oh gosh, yeah. I remember on my 50th birthday, just right about that time, I don't think it was my exact birthday, and I just remembered this, but a couple of girls went to a wedding in Fallbrook, and then they dropped us. We drank on the way. They dropped us off. Instead of coming home, I went straight to Pechanga and just wallowed in my own misery and my own sadness and my own addiction. And I just remember spending that whole day just in purgatory. And it's looking back at that and where I was in that depth, it's like,
pretty wild, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I was actually talking about my gambling addiction to the stream yesterday, and even talking about it makes my throat close up.
That's fair. I mean, it's understandable because it's not, obviously it's not like something that it's not the greatest moment of your life, and it doesn't paint you in a favorable light. Yeah. And it's hard because it brings up past demons and things like that.
Yeah. And it really makes me want to go gamble.
Really?
Yeah. That's going to always be my one addiction. Yeah. That is always going to be like latched on, I think, to the back of my brain, being like, do it. Yeah. And so.
Just that vice, or without drinking or smoking?
Nope. Never even think twice about it. Yeah. I can talk about drinking all day long and I'm perfectly fine, or smoking, and I don't have the same physical reaction that I do when I talk about gambling.
Got you. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. And so like I was telling my stream yesterday, it's like if I were to walk into that casino and put $1 into a slot machine, I would have to, before I go, I would take all all my beautiful clothes that I have.
Yeah.
I'd give them away. I would go in and say goodbye to you and Brandon. You know, I would give up my platform, and because all of that would go away
Totally.
with that $1 going into that one.
That's how I
slot
think about
machine.
drinking. Like if 1 ounce of alcohol touches my lips, it's all over.
It's all over. Everything that I built for. And I look at it this way. I have built every ounce of happiness that I have built from the ground up. I mean, my life was ashes when I started this journey.
Totally.
So, yeah. So yeah, no, it's been really interesting. And to me, it's something that I've taken it and I really want to celebrate the fact that I have made it. And I really want to celebrate the fact that we don't have to be scared growing older.
Yeah. You know, it's weird, especially too, because I play video games, you know, and the age demographic is generally younger than I am. It's very rare that I find somebody older. And it's funny how people are so like afraid of growing up. They're like, oh my gosh, you're so old, or like, oh my God, I don't ever want to be that age. But like, and like, that's the thing though too, is like being the age, and I'm only 33, which in retrospect is still relatively, you know, I'm in the middle of the road, I reckon. But like, I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't change anything. And we were watching my very first stream ever on Wednesday, which was my birthday. We were watching the very first stream ever, and I just looked young. I looked nervous. I looked insecure. I didn't know what I was doing. And it's crazy to go from then to now. And I was talking to stream, you know, just because it was, you know, because I'm very proud of this success. And I was saying that, like, I wish I could go back in time and tell, I think I was like 27 at the time. I wish I could tell 27-year-old Bert that, like, yo, it's gonna work out, you know, because I was streaming to nobody.
Yeah.
And I was talking to myself for weeks, and to think that I went from there to here is crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know what? Because every once in a while you'll come up to me and be like, oh my gosh, look at this picture. I look so different.
Yeah.
And while you are much more polished now, I don't think you look older.
I don't think I look older either. I think there's certain stages in my life where I think I looked older than I do now. I think I look relatively young for my age, but I think I carry myself better.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you know, 27-year-old, or maybe like even young 30s, I was kind of still, I would say I was still trying to find myself. I was still trying to find that confidence and things. And now I feel a lot more confident with me as a person. So I'm able to, like, you know, carry myself in a different light. You know, I'm dressing better, I'm working out more, I'm eating healthier. Whereas other Bert was just kind of like, I mean, just doing whatever he wanted, because I had no direction back then. You know,
just as an outside observer, and I just thought of this, Robert, but you know how sometimes Brandon and I would joke around and be like, oh my God, he's got like such a sharp tongue. He's like such a fast wit.
Yeah.
You know, you could slice people in half with just your
in the
words.
nicest way. I'm kind of mean.
Yeah, I don't want to label you like that, but yeah, you could have episodes of being a little venomous.
Yeah.
And it just realized that is subsiding so much. And I think that as your confidence grows, you don't have to go in with this verbal attack.
Yeah.
Because I think what that was just your defense, because you didn't want to get hurt. So you were like, I'll shoot first.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, very possibly.
Yeah.
You know, just because I was so, you know, I just graduated college. I didn't really know what was going on, you know, like, obviously, you know, I would say very insecure, just trying to find myself. And it seems like, you know, every day since then, it definitely feels like I'm stepping in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But I'm even talking from like when you were a kid. I mean, it's like, you know, it's that was your defense mechanism. Because you are so quick witted, you could use your words, you know, and to me, I've just noticed lately that you seem like, it's like a softer, happier version of you. And I think that confidence is what's giving that to you.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd say so. I think just being okay with myself, I think, is where the most confidence comes from. Yeah. And like, you know, loving myself and be like, okay, well, I love myself and this is what I want for me. And this is how, you know, this is what I'm going to start doing. Like I'm investing in my own happiness, instead of like, oh, well, if I do this, then I'll be happy. Or if I start doing this, then I'll be happy. Or if I'm here, I'm happy. It's more of like, okay, well, I need to show up for me. I need to like invest in my own future kind of thing.
See, for me, again, just kind of psychoanalyzing you. I always felt like you robbed yourself of your own happiness. Like you didn't deserve happiness. or like happiness was for somebody else. Or to me, it always felt like you kept happiness like in the distance. Like it was always something that you had to do to achieve it, but then you always moved that line farther and farther away.
I don't know if I'd rob myself of my happiness, but I was never happy with the person I was at the time.
Okay.
So I'm not robbing myself of anything, but I always thought of it like, oh, well, if I can do this, then I can be happy.
Okay. It's that destinational
happiness.
happiness.
Yeah, destinational happiness. Because I wasn't happy with who I was as a person. So I invested all of my goals, or maybe all of my ambition, in the future self. But I didn't really do anything to obtain it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, oh, once I lose 5 pounds, then I'll be happy, or then I'll look good. And if I look good, then I'll be happy. But I wouldn't work out, or I wouldn't eat healthy, and they're like, oh, well, I guess this is just who I am, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it was very different.
It's like chasing a mythical creature. You're never going to, when you think like that, you're never going to catch it. Because it's more of like your brain, again, just kind of being like, I'm just going to continuously mess with you. So then that way you're constantly in this mode of like trying to achieve happiness instead of just being happy.
I think it's more of like a way of I think it's like a very subtle way of putting myself down.
Yeah.
Is I think the best way to think about it. Because now thinking back, I'm like, well, if only I had this, or if only I had that. And then, so it kind of validates me not being happy at the moment. And it makes a lot of sense, because there's a lot of times where I'm like, oh, well, if only I had 100 viewers, or if only I had 10,000 YouTube subscribers, then I would be happy. Then I would know what happiness feels like. And then, it would validate me being like, well, I'm not happy now. And I'm not happy now because I don't have this thing.
Yeah.
And so it would validate me kind of living in this cesspool of self-doubt and pity.
Yeah. You know what? And it's kind of like almost like sand, like quicksand, because I'm like sitting here trying to think like in my own life how I've done that. And I think that's why sometimes I have such peaks and valleys in my own platform. It's because it's like I really wanted to get to 1 million followers on TikTok. And once I got there, I was like, I was no happier than when I was there, and so to me, keeping my creativity going and keeping my happiness is all about just staying here. It's not those peaks and valleys.
It's not like it's not the goal, right? Everyone always, it's a saying, and it's absolutely true, but it's not the destination, it's the journey. It's you enjoying the process, and the reward is let's just say you're 1 million subscribers. That's not the reward. The reward is you growing as a person and as a content creator. Like, I know I catch myself doing that sometimes too. Like, oh dude, if only I could average X amount of viewers, then I can consider myself a streamer, or then I can consider myself a content creator. But now I caught myself, and this is even just recently. This isn't like this profound, like I didn't have this awakening and then I never think of this anymore. But it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna enjoy creating content, and if one TikTok doesn't do well, that's perfectly fine. Maybe the next one will. I have a fun time streaming, and so this is just me sharing my favorite moments of me streaming to the rest of the world. And then I found that I enjoy that process a lot more versus like if I edit this and all right, this one's going to go viral. I can feel it. This is a viral TikTok. This is my winning ticket. This is me coming out. And why are you smiling?
I'm smiling because I'm enjoying this conversation.
Okay. And then
I have like a creepy Joker
smile? A little
smile?
bit, yeah. You kind of look like I don't know if you've ever seen it, but like those animatronic dolls that come to life.
That's gross. Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah. But
I'm just enjoying our conversation.
Okay. I was just making sure. But yeah, so then it was like, oh, this next one's going to go viral. This is it. And then it doesn't go viral. Then you get double depressed because you're like, okay, I spent all this time editing, and then, it didn't go viral and blah, 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 versus like hey, you know what? I made a really cool TikTok. Somebody posted a really cool comment. This is really fun. Like, hey, I got three followers off of this one video. This is super sick. That means I'm 3 more closer to, getting more and more and more. And you start enjoying the process a little bit more.
To me, that's really fed into like that whole, like, if I get this many subscribers, then I'm going to feel like a content creator. That really falls into the whole imposter syndrome sort of thing. Because I think that's what I was thinking. Like, if I get like this amount of TikTok followers, then I'm going to feel successful. But I didn't feel any more like, validated than I did when I didn't have it, because I had such that imposter syndrome going where I wasn't giving myself my own credit for my own achievements.
Totally.
you know?
Yeah, it's interesting because I guess I dabble with imposter syndrome too, because there's sometimes where I'm like, lately people they recognize my voice, and so they're like, "Are you that famous TikTok guy?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not. I don't want. No." But I think it's less imposter syndrome versus more of I don't like the idea of being put on a pedestal of.
But I don't think you are. You know what? And that's just the whole thing, Robert. Is again, my advice to you is that you really need to differentiate, like being like cocky or arrogant, and again acknowledging your hard work. And when
Sure.
people say, "Oh my God, are you that famous
Yeah.
TikTok guy?" It's not. If you say, "Yeah, that's me."
No, I do say that.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
oh yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's me. And they're like, oh my God, you're so awesome. Like, blah, blah, blah. Then I say thank you, but I also make sure that I don't get put on airs. And I really don't like the idea of being, like I said, being put on a pedestal, because I'm no different than any other person and I have my own flaws. And I think a lot of times people do that. People queue with me and they'll try to, we call it queue sniping. So they'll try to join my lobby before the game starts. So they'll watch my stream and they'll try to queue at the exact same time to get in my lobby. And then people are like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I'm shaking. Like, it's you. I can't believe I'm in the lobby with you. And I'm like, oh, it's perfectly fine. I'm just a dude. Like I have my ups and my downs, I'm just a human. And I think humanizing myself instead of that, yeah, that's me.
Oh, yeah,
Bow before me, tiny people.
Totally apples and oranges.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only thing that I think I cognitively care about. I mean, I don't really mind if people recognize me. I'm like, yeah, that's me. It's really cool. But it's as soon as they start putting me on a pedestal or putting me on this illusion of I'm different than any other person is when I get a reality check.
Yeah, but again, it's knowing the difference of like I can never see you being that arrogant person where you're just like psh, whatever, suffer in silence, fool. You don't have that makeup. But where I'm saying is like when people do say these things. Hopefully, instead of you being like, oh, no,
I do. I acknowledge it. I go,
in
yeah,
your
that's
own,
me.
But no, in your own mind, I hope that your first instinct is to be like, wow, that's really cool. My hard work is paying off.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say so, because it is hard work.
Yeah.
I dedicate. I mean, out of every waking moment, I would say I probably, other than going to the gym and other than walking indie, every waking moment is about creating content and becoming something.
Yeah.
So I mean, the hard work is definitely there, because there's a lot of days where I'm just like so, beat up from doing it all the time. So the hard work aspect is for sure.
Right.
Like I said, I just don't like being put on a pedestal.
Right. And because and the only reason I say that is because I noticed in myself, Robert, that I absolutely 100% have the imposter syndrome that I am trying to work my way out of.
Yeah.
But what was happening is like I was so humbled, like no. I was telling myself that I was not successful.
Sure.
And it was really affecting my creativity.
Okay, that's perfect. That makes perfect sense.
So that's where I'm trying to correlate.
Yeah,
that
I would say kind of be same. I would be same but different. Like
Okay.
I'd be like, oh yeah, like I've got a nice following, but I don't have that big of a following.
Yeah.
Like it's nice, but it's not that nice.
Right.
So whereas I need to be like, oh yeah, that's me. Thank you for recognizing me. Like thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
So no, I totally get it. And I think what really put it in perspective, what was really nice is for my birthday, a lot of the viewers from my stream, they like had like a little virtual community board where they all wrote really nice things. And it's crazy to think of that so many people would say so many nice things. And it really motivated me to kind of be like, okay, well, this is me, 5 months in. All right, let's do to 10 months. Let's grow. Let's get crazy. Let's do this thing. And it really made me feel really good that I'm able to provide a safe and enjoyable space for so many people.
Right.
And it really made me like motivate to be like, all right, let's get to work kind of thing. And so like, and I like that process of like finding happiness in the work versus finding happiness in the end game or in the goal of everything.
Well, that keeps you from crashing and burning.
Yeah, it keeps me from burning out. It keeps me from, like finding the mundane, making it like mundane and repetitive and not enjoying the process, and then finally getting to where you thought you would find happiness and you realize that you're not any more happier than you were before. And so like enjoying the process process, enjoying the suck is the best part.
Right. And you know what? And also too, and going back to the whole imposter syndrome thing,
Mm-hmm.
where I noticed what it was happening to me is like, I would come up with like a new idea, a new content,
Yeah.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But having that imposter syndrome, I'd be like, oh, you can't pull that off.
Mm-hmm.
Or you don't have a big enough platform
Yeah.
or, you don't deserve this. So that imposter syndrome, even though I was coming up with great ideas,
Yeah.
I wasn't implementing them because I looked back at my platform for the last 6 months and I mean, I was still putting out daily content, but there was really no creativity in my content.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I had lost that spark because I just didn't feel, I didn't feel like I had a voice in the community.
Totally.
And just here lately and having these discussions and, acknowledging this imposter syndrome and working on my confidence, I have come up with so many different ideas and I'm getting joy out of creating again.
That's good.
So that's why I just it's those little inner voices that sometimes we don't hear consciously, but subconsciously we're listening to
100%.
it. So that's why I was just wanted to bring up that whole, when people say that, just make sure in the back of your brain, you're not telling yourself something negative, that you meet that with positivity.
It's understandable. I acknowledge that and I respect it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that you have things that you're coming up with, and to me that it's amazing to see your level of creativity flourishing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I will say that very similar to you, and it obviously makes sense because you and I are so identical in so many ways that I think if it wasn't for people I don't think I would believe in myself if it wasn't for everyone who believed in me, kind of thing. I have a very supportive group of people who I find very dear in my heart, and they're like, okay, we're next step. All right, let's do this. Let's do that. And they absolutely push me for the bigger and better goals. And I don't think I would be where I was at if I didn't have people who, like I said, believed in me as much as they do. So it feels really good. So now I'm like, okay, I'm going to grow the channel for them, kind of thing. And I think I'm a very accommodating person. I think I'm very, I don't want to say selfless, but I'm always put people in front, in people. I guess I put people's I don't know how to word this.
People's expectations.
No. I put people. I want to make other people happy, but I think before I make myself happy, kind of thing. And the fact that I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to make this channel the best for everyone is kind of what motivates me the most. And by making it happier for everyone, I think I'm also going to find the joy in the process.
Yeah. I was going to say, just make sure that you put yourself in that mix.
Yeah. I'm definitely there, and it's fun, and I like being in talking with people, and it's good.
Yeah. I mean, from the outside observer, I've definitely see you flourish, and it's really cool. And you inspire me without even knowing that you inspire me in so many different ways, because it's it's really cool to be able to bounce off of each other like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So for your birthday, we went down to Encinitas and we had sushi.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. You got to see a Free People store for the first time.
The magical Free People store.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really liked my little top. It was very va-va-voom. I have to wear a little top under the top, so.
Oh, that's what you mean with that. Yeah.
Keep this all modest.
Great.
And yes, I forgot. I tried to be a good wing person.
You forgot how old I was.
Forgot how old you were.
Yep.
Yeah. The cashier was very cute.
And also very young.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to lead all these conversations for Robert. And then I was wondering where Robert wasn't
your
really
wingman
talking.
skills sucked immensely.
Yeah, I know. But I try.
This is my son. He's never been in a Free People store before.
He just ate sushi.
Yeah, he just had sushi. Do you like sushi? So,
you know what? I try.
Yeah, I'm glad you failed, because that would have been a terrible.
Yeah, but I always look at it this way: if the lady who I am.
Oh, no, you can say the young girl.
Yeah, it
wasn't a lady. A
no,
lady would be my age.
let's just put it in a different context. Let's just say I'm trying to be a wing person for you with a new girl, and I'm doing a horrible job, but yet you're patient. It's going to be endearing, because she's going to be like, wow, he's really patient with his absolutely insane mother.
Yeah.
So he must be dateable.
Can't wait to marry into that.
So we got that. And then Brandon's moving. He'll be moving out of state. So I'm excited for him.
Yeah.
And so for my 59th birthday, and for my new creativity and for my new, like, I want to try new things. I'm going to push myself.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing a journey of my 59th birthday and just my 59th year. And I'm going to be showing new styles, pushing myself with creativity. And I want to show the world that leaving 59 and going into 60 is something you can do with flair and fashion and tattoos and energy and laughter. And so I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be really, really cool.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's these conversations help so much in so many different ways.
Yeah, it's funny because, generally, I think it's like once a month, you and I look at each other and we're like, should we even do the podcast?
Yeah.
And, like, is the podcast even worth it? Sometimes it feels like work, but, I think what we get out of it, I think ultimately is the biggest reward. I know it's not a banger podcast. I know we're not like making money or anything like that, but I think the outcome of you and I sitting down and actually having an unplugged conversation from our phones, looking at each other and actually having dialogue, I think is the most rewarding part.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's helped a lot.
Yeah. And you know what? And we go through our peaks and valleys. And I mean, we've been doing the podcast now for what, 2 years?
No.
3?
No. What? No. Like a year and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
No, we did this when we first started TikTok. We've done this for 2 years. Yeah, because
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back to our first one.
Yeah, because I remember I worked in escrow, and remember Brandon used to do it with us. So we've definitely been doing it for 2 years.
Let me look at our podcast. Hang on.
Okay, he's looking at his phone just in case you're wondering. He's scrolling.
July 25th, 2021.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So it's been 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's like in those 2 years, we've tried different formats. We've tried different things. And we ultimately always just come back to us just sitting down and having a conversation of just you and I in our kitchen.
Yeah.
And to me, that always feels the most organic.
Yeah.
And when we do it this way, when we're just like, hey, let's just take, half an hour, 45 minutes, however long, and talk about life, it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
I find myself having like a different energy coming into this where it's like, hey, you know what? Sit down, relax, enjoy, join us. And we're just going to talk. And so I think it's really beneficial for both of us. And it's more enjoyable.
I agree.
Yeah. So do you have like any revolution or any thoughts for your 33rd year?
Nope.
You're going to do anything different?
Nope. Just going to keep on keeping on and just looking forward to, the rest of the year and coming up to next August. So.
Yeah. Do you have like any new like ideas or platforms or anything that you're going to be doing?
Nope. I'm going to be making more YouTube long form content, but other than that, nope.
Okay.
Nope. Just slow grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just plugging away daily. So let's see. It is. Wow. Yeah.
What?
Ooh, yeah, yee.
Yeah, this is
So when you get to be my age, you make a lot of sounds.
No, you've been making sounds like that forever.
You know what? And I love it. I love being quirky. And I was going to say, yeah.
Great. Awesome. Well, do you want to tell them where to find us, Mom?
Yes, you can find Robert on all of his channels. So for your Instagram, did you make a Sherbert Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're almost at 600 followers.
Wow, very cool. So Robert is Sherbert, SUREBERT _ on all channels. And I am Gray Hair and Tattoos across the board. And I really look forward to our first week of being 33 and 59. Stay cool, be safe. And I guess we'll see you next weekend.
Next weekend.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.